Hello everybody, welcome back to Commonwealth Flipper. I am in the other shed. I'm in this shed for a reason actually today. I want to kind of give you a little glimpse of the changes that I have been making for quite a while now, but it's finally culminating in what I guess I'll call it the master plan. I've been extremely excited about a few things, and I've kind of let it out a little bit here and there on the Commonwealth Flipper channel, but I want to kind of get into detail about, I'm going to get into some numbers today. I'm going to get into the strategy behind what I'm doing with my business and talk a little bit about live selling, but a lot about the benefits, the ramifications that some of these changes have made to my eBay sales, and talk about the growth of those eBay sales. I want to talk about what I hope to be the future growth of my eBay sales and my business a little bit, and see if some of it relates to you and get your opinion on it a little bit. But there is a ton of stuff going on around here. It kind of started back when we got that trailer. I had this plan. I wasn't sure I'd be able to navigate and create what I wanted to create, but I think it's getting really, really close, and I'm excited about it. I'm going to give you a little peek in the numbers today as well, and my goals. Let's go take a look. I'm sure most of you know I absolutely love reselling, but of all the reselling that I do, I'm gonna leave this door open. Maybe the bees will stay out. My absolute favorite is eBay, but you know, I sell all over the place on different platforms, both live and not live. Mercari, as you know, I sell on Bonanza, for goodness sake. So I've always not only wanted to protect my eBay selling, no matter what I did with social media or live selling or whatever, but I also wanted to grow it. And if I couldn't do both together, I wasn't gonna do it. So I devised a plan, started the process, wanted to gauge it, wanted to look at the numbers and figure out if it was feasible to still do social media, to still be an eBay seller, sell on Mercari, sell on all these other platforms, you know, like I said, Bonanza, sell on whatnot. We have District, Dibdit now as well, and I sell on a couple other places as well, and I think we figured it out, and I think we're ready to head forward and maybe even increase, not just one platform, but try to increase every single platform we sell on. If you've been watching the show carefully, you've probably noticed, I gotta figure out which jelly jar is sold. I think it's this one right here. Polyworld, is that what that is? I'm not a Pokemon person, but you've noticed that we have increased our eBay sales from what they used to be, and at the same time still been able to increase every other platform. And now I want to take it to the next level and add a couple pieces to it. Believe it or not, these Welch's jars, and some of y'all know this, I've never sold a Pokemon one before, but it's sold for $15.95 plus shipping. So I'm going to pull some items, and in between the items we're going to kind of dig in a little bit. Tell me what you think honestly of my plan, if you think it's going to work. I'm excited about it. You know, we bought that trailer last year, and Mike, Death Pile Pickers, helped me out so much with it, and we want to start putting it into use for something that I had in mind the whole time, but we haven't been able to execute yet. And I'm kind of going to lead up to that and talk about that a little bit later in the video, but this part of it we're going to talk about here pretty quick. The first thing, this looks freaky, doesn't it? It's an American Girl doll, and it's been in there for quite a while, and it's got some clothing and accessories. I did not let this one go on 30% off, however, because it was a decent deal with plenty of watchers, and eventually I got a sale, $49.95 plus shipping. So I guess for context, a little behind the scenes stuff here. I usually put in, I have been for years now at this point, 70 to sometimes 80 hours a week, and it depends. It might be a little less sometimes, but it's almost always at least 70 hours because I'm trying to run a reselling business and I'm trying to run a social media business. And it gets a little bit cumbersome, you know, when you're trying to do that much to add something on, which is why I resisted for 2 years really adding on whatnot. And now we've got another live selling platform over there on Dibdit.com and District, and I'm selling on different districts over there as well. And so I resisted it like crazy because I did not want my eBay numbers to go down, because this is where my love is. So we finally agreed, my family finally agreed, that if we're gonna do those, then it has to be completely done by them. And then of course we added Bubba's girlfriend to help with that as well. And my wife helps, of course. And now we have added another piece to the puzzle, and that's Jess. I mentioned that a couple of videos ago. We've added her, and she's always come by and helped from time to time, and now she's gonna help a whole lot because that's going to be part of the plan. I not only want to grow that side of the business, I want to create more time for me to grow eBay. We've already done that, and I've seen the benefits. It's been crazy. The sales for us, because of the changes we made on eBay, have gone up about 30%. And I want to bump that another 30% on top of that. I'll get into the numbers after I pull one more item. And I know that's precisely the exact dilemma that a lot of you face out there. A lot of you working 40, 50, 60 hours a week and still doing this side hustle on the side for maybe, 10, 15 more hours a week. And you are passionate about it like I am. It's just fun. It's just different from what you do for a living. Like I did teaching forever. It was what I just absolutely loved. So I sold this Spearhead. I don't even know what it is exactly here. Adjustable extension gasket cutter. Paid $10 last year down in Florida at the A1A sale. And this one sold for $84.95 for shipping. You probably remember about 6 months ago, we started a process where I wasn't going to buy. I was going to sell off everything that was in this death pile in here. And at the time, everything was full. This entire loft up there was full. All of this stuff was full. Everything over here was full. Most of this was full. Every single container here was full. This was all full, which a lot of it is again. All this was full. Underneath was full. So yeah, there's empty stuff here. Everything up here was jam-packed. Now we have very little merchandise up there as well. Under here was full. It was just jam-packed in here. And so I knew we had enough merchandise to at least test out the live selling portion of it, and also to keep having inventory to list on eBay, but I wanted it all gone to streamline the system that I hoped to get to. Well, we got to that point. Now we're in the buying season, and I'm buying again, and I'm finding that in order to take this next step, this next leap up here that I'm going to talk about a little later in this video, I needed to be able to get more merchandise, and just garage selling probably wasn't going to cut it unless I just did tons more garage selling, which I love garage selling, but there's only so much around here that I can get. So I tapped into a couple of resources that I had around here to increase my kind of private sourcing a little bit, but it's still not enough. And I've also increased my Friday yard sales, which is where I got these right here. And there are very few around here, but I used to not go out at all because it was 1 or 2 sales. But now I'm doing that as well as Saturdays. And of course, traveling to these highway sales. That's part of the equation with that trailer. And I found these on a Friday. Snoopy LL Bean slippers. They wanted $4. I think I paid 2, maybe 3. They sold for $20 plus shipping. So you know I am a stickler for time versus profitability. So I use that time. If you remember, I said we're going to experiment through April. And I said that I was going to take that time with the inventory I already knew we had, didn't have to source it, to run the numbers and to do the calculations to see if it was worth it. Because we were already paying Bubba's girlfriend a little bit. She didn't work very much because she's full-time in school. But she'd put in, I don't know how many hours, 7, 10, something like that, a week, helping us on the live selling side of the equation, plus a few other things with merch and stuff like that. So I wanted to run the numbers and see if it would be profitable to do this with somebody working 40 hours a week. And I just so happened, and you know, some of you may not believe in divine providence, but to me, it seemed so perfect in the situation that Jess was in her life. It's like, this is made to order. This is exactly what she needs. It's exactly what me and my family need. So I wanted to see at 40 hours if it would be worth it, if we could increase that side of the business, free up all of my time in order to focus on this. I also made some other changes, by the way, and you've probably heard me talk about this on the podcast. I offloaded a while back a little bit of the editing for the Commonwealth Picker channel, and that's given me more time to do this as well. And I also offloaded a little bit of the Facebook work as well, because this channel right here, of course, is my passion. And all of that has added up to a slightly more time for me to do eBay. And I firmly believe this just got in here and it sold that quick. eBay is the most bang for my buck. So I wanted to focus on that because I have the most experience doing that, of course. And of all the folks around here, not of all of you. And this Garmin GPS handheld, there's a VHS in here that tells you how to use it, which is funny. But this sold, and it sold overseas, which isn't a terrible surprise to me. This one paid just a few bucks for it. So for $100 plus shipping, super quick. So right there is the example, right? If I could take my time and maximize it, because I was losing time to social media on eBay, and we would have maybe 30 to 50 sales a week, and I wanted to have 60 to 80 sales a week. And at this point, I'd like to bump it up to like 70 to 90, maybe 100 sales a week, and bump those numbers up significantly. And we've been able to do it so far without offloading everything that I'm doing on the other stuff. I still host the shows on Whatnot and on District and all that stuff, and I'll probably continue to do that about as much as I am, but I'm not going to do every single show over there. And hopefully, I can tell you, I'm pretty confident that this will work, but there's one little missing piece to the puzzle, and that is sourcing more, because sourcing takes time. A lot of you work all week, and you know, you wake up on Saturday morning, you're ready to roll out there, but you haven't done the planning necessary to find exactly the route you want to go on, and that takes time as well. And I found that I wasn't finding that time because of all the stuff I was doing. I wanted that time back, and it would take significantly more time to figure out the logistics to source more stuff in order to make all this work. And I've got offers for years to come and buy out collections or travel here or do this, and I've always turned them down because I simply don't have the time or the space or the ability to process that stuff. But I do now, but I still don't have the time to do the legwork. All the folks who have sent me offers in the past, you know, I probably haven't even responded to you. These are crazy cool right here. And I probably made a mistake. Virginia Polytechnic Institute Creamery. That is Virginia Tech. I've never seen these, and I've been picking around here for 20 years. And there are no comps. I did a little digging, found an old comp for $61. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to put them up for $69.95 plus shipping. Sold just like that. Like, both of them were gone in no time flat. Same buyer. Sold for $140 plus shipping. So I'm about ready to talk some numbers with you, but I want to add one more thing in really quickly here. And I'll put these without breaking them, hold them both with one hand. That was pretty cool. I probably could have got more, but you know what? When you pay, what did I pay? I think she wanted 15 each for these, and I paid 25 for both. Turned it into 140 plus shipping. So as you know, we added Jess on the other day in a video I mentioned, and she's already been here quite a bit. And her job is basically going to be organizing possibilities for private picks for buyouts, whether around this region or on the way to some of these highway sales when I'm out with Mike Deathpile Picker. I guess that's, what is it, Danielle from American Pickers? I guess that's what she is. And I don't have to do any of that except for, of course, make the purchase itself. And I hope that some of you have sent me messages in the past would do so again, but don't send them to me. Send them to jess.net at Commonwealth Picker, or jess.net commonwealthpicker at gmail.com. I think that's right. And she can look through those, and maybe we can add that to the equation. I could still do my beloved garage sales and be the one heading up all the eBay sales. And we're going to get into the numbers, like I said, in just a second, but that's going to be her job, and it will increase, hopefully, because this is what it came down to. I saw the jump in eBay when I started to push my ASP up to 15 bucks, which is not high. But for me, it was high because I would sell a lot of stuff for $6, $8. And now I won't do that unless it's a multi-quantity item or unless it's something really cool that I just absolutely love, like this little guy right here. And I still get to do the things I enjoy, and we can make a profit at it. Let's look at the numbers. Actually, let's pick a couple more items and look at the numbers. You've heard me talk about Care Bear beanies lately, and some of them have decent value, more so than even normal Care Bears, which I don't see anywhere around right now. But this one was good. It had a tag on it, for goodness sake. Sold for $25 plus shipping. Up to this point in my business, we have been, well, I'll tell you what, since the increase that we really started to see a jump, doing it kind of this new way a little bit, adding back in some time that had been clawed away from me on eBay, we were at roughly $3,600 a week. And I want to increase that to $5,750 a week reselling. And that's not just going to be on eBay, that's going to be on all platforms. And I think we can do it because we've already increased it significantly doing it this way. And this is hopefully going to allow us to do exactly what we did and push it up a little bit more. This is just how quick stuff's selling for us lately with this new focus. I probably should have brought this bin in here because I've already pulled 3 things out of this shit. These football cards, let's see if I can not mess them up here. 1982 Got Kellen Winslow on it, Alzado on the back. This pack sold for $54.95 plus shipping. And it did so pretty darn quickly, I have to say, which is awesome. So I love that sale. And it went to a viewer, went to Janice. Mizzou great and NFL Hall of Famer Kellen Winslow makes this rack pack an awesome find. The only thing that would make it even better is a Commonwealth picker sticker. Well, we throw in the little ones and a card with everyone that we know is to a viewer anyways. So those are headed to you. Thank you for the purchase. We appreciate it very much. I actually bought these from the flea market. I bought them in a bundle. And I think I paid $60 for the entire batch that I bought that day. We were already in the profit, but this would have almost paid for that entire giant bundle of stuff we bought that day. So to give you an idea about the numbers, just to give you an idea, these sales today, not just these, the ones we're going to pick the rest of this video, 2 days worth of sales, $1,133.90. That's the gross number, of course, as eBay does, adds everything in there. So that's nowhere near the profit. But profit margins on there, if they're not 50%, I'm doing something wrong. And I know for a fact these are going to be far more than that because of the low price I paid on this and on this. It's going to be a pretty good net day for sure. Now looking at those numbers. Now those are 2 good days, really good days. We're not averaging that late. Well, some days we are, but we're not averaging that as of yet. If we could average that every day, we could do $207,000 gross on eBay. And that's basically where my goal wants to be. I want to do, for the first time ever, gross $200,000 on eBay. I want to ramp these other things up live without having to do it to $100,000 a year. Whether that's Whatnot or over on District or whatever it is, that's what I want to be. Plus, we sell on some other stuff. We make sales on Mercari, we make sales on Bonanza, and a few other things from time to time, some private deals and stuff like that. So I think that the goal is $300,000 gross sales per year. You can do the math on the net profit if you want. If you've been watching the show long enough, well, I don't want to get into numbers, but you get the point. I mean, I guess I am getting into numbers. That means well over $150,000 net profit, and probably significantly more than that, but let's just say it's 150 to keep it kind of round. I'm used to making around 75,000 net profit after everything is done reselling. And I want to bump that up to 150,000 because I'm adding on somebody who's going to be taking some of that. That's part of the business, right? And I don't want to get into how much we're paying her and all that stuff, but it'll give you an idea of where I want to be. I want to increase my income, not just on eBay, but on the other reselling platforms as well. As you can see, I don't learn lessons very quickly. Sold some Mary Kay, and I still won't because I'm not taking this in yet because I only got one hand. What is this? Clinical Solutions. That sold for $39.90 plus shipping. And that is a pretty quick seller as well. All right, if I've done my math correctly here, that's the number we have to hit on a daily basis, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, $822. And you know that there's going to be days that I take off. And sometimes even weeks that I take off if my family goes on vacation, going to these highway sales, doing all that stuff, where the store stays open, but you're not going to be selling that kind of amount, certainly on eBay. But I hope to have very few weeks where the live side isn't going on as well, even if I'm not here. Sold a Dale, double-stitched Dale t-shirt with nice little back hit right there. Not a huge seller, but $12 plus shipping. So because of those kind of off days, I mean, come on, who's working on Christmas, right? So because of that, I really think that number needs to be around 850. And some of it's a little difficult to calculate because, you know, you're not running live shows every day. You're doing a couple a week, but we are going to plan on doing about 8 to 10 a month, I think. And we, meaning I'll do some of them. 2002 Yankee Stadium replica right here. This is not one of the... Oh, what is it? Bradbury Mint? Is that the one that does these? Is that right? I think I got that wrong. At any rate, this one is a 2002 Yankees replica. Sold for $20 plus shipping. As soon as I turned the camera off, it came to my head. Danbury Mint. Almost fell over when I saw this cha-ching here. Sold a Starbucks mug, and we've sold all the ones we bought except for 2 now. Takes a while. They don't sell like they used to, but this one is Pittsburgh. Shout out Adam and Sarah. Daily Cabbage and Pittsburgh Picker. That one sold for $12 plus shipping, paid $1. I just realized this year might be a little harder to get that number because we used to sell one of these off a week. Now we're selling them once every 10, 20, 30 days. Little Inaman. This one was a special one. We're doing an auction with it and donating some of the proceeds. I can't remember if it was full proceeds or if it was a 50-50. I'll have to go look. But these came from Hilo's World. So a big thank you to him again. And it's a Titleist hat that I signed right there. And an Inaman that he found. And we threw in a sticker as well. So thank you to him. And thank you to Tyler for purchasing it. I appreciate it. There should be one listed right now. We still have that. And I'll just do a little slower because I don't want to lose my Inaman decorations. You know, this is... If you've been watching a while, this is the house that Inaman built. And I'm hoping just to keep scaling to a certain degree because I'm only going to scale if it gives me the time that I want and need to do the things that I enjoy other than reselling, like sitting underneath that tree out there and watching my kids, you know, Reagan in gymnastics and Turner in baseball. But thank you, Tyler. Longtime watcher and fellow seller, you and the gang at the Trash to Cash are some of my favorite resellers. Some of? Any rate, thank you. We appreciate it, and we hope it gets things moving for you. Sold another hiking backpack. This is an REI, and these are a pain in the butt to ship, but you know what? They're worth it because of how cheap I got all of these. It was crazy good deal, so I figured it was worth it, even though it's only going out here for $40 plus shipping. So I am hoping, just because I said I'd talk about numbers, that this change, if all goes well, will create a net reselling, a net profit reselling of $100,000 to $130,000, which maybe more is possible. We'll have to see how it all goes. Which is, you know, if it's $125,000, that is 3 times what I made as a teacher, just on the reselling side of my business, which is really cool. And that's after helping Bubba's girlfriend out a little bit and paying for somebody who's helping us a lot more than that as far as time goes. Selling some Kate Spade glasses that I paid $10 for. They had 15 on them, and I wasn't going to pay 15, but I would pay 10 because I was certain I could get 30 out of them, and I ended up getting a little bit more for these Kate Spade glasses here. And we ended up getting $34.95 plus shipping. I feel like this is a crazy day. There's probably more selling outside of this shed than inside of this shed. This is a rolling Marlboro duffel, and that one sold for $35, I think, plus shipping. We sold the Jimmy Ape right here. I think this one's talking or something. I can't remember what it is. But that little ape guy right there sold for $15.95 plus shipping. And of course, you know, I still run all the social media side of the business. That's Commonwealth Picker, Commonwealth Flipper. That's Garage Sale Nation, all on YouTube. I do the Trash to Cash podcast with the boys. And then, of course, Commonwealth Picker on Facebook as well. Garage Sale Nation Facebook group. Trash to Cash Facebook group. All that stuff in there. We do a little bit of TikTok and Instagram as well. And so all of that takes time, and there's revenue sources. And I manage all of that with the exception of a little bit of editing on Facebook and some editing for Picker that I outsource. I still edit every video, what you're looking at right now. And we finally sold the last one of these things. I'm so excited. They did so well for us. These e.l.f. matte lipsticks, and they sold for $17 plus shipping. Here we go again. Sold some golf clubs. I think I picked these up for $5, I believe. And they sold for $35.95 plus shipping. I was wondering you're going to come and join us because everybody's here today. You're like, I'm not coming down here to visit you. Another outside of the shed purchase right here. It's a Plano tackle box right here, and I usually avoid these unless they're super cheap, and it was $2. And I'm like, okay, I'll pick it up because I had bought nothing that day already, so 2 into 25 plus shipping. And that reminds me, in this business, I gotta give credit to my wife as well, who does so much, and certainly in the shipping department. You know, I'm gonna ship all this stuff over here. Me and her come in here 3-4 nights a week, and we do all the shipping for eBay. And I do the tough stuff, the stuff she doesn't want to do, and she does everything else, and she does it very quickly. Of course, Bubba's girlfriend and my daughter run the merch store, and after we pay for expenses, that's where most of the charitable stuff comes from, so we appreciate y'all doing that. I also appreciate, I see from time to time from viewers, we do have a coupon code, or a code. If you use code Commonwealth on eBay, you get 5% off on there as well. So, and of course, you know, the other parts of our business, I do ads from time to time for folks, especially on the Picker channel. and all the affiliate stuff that we do as well with my reseller Genie, and all that stuff can be found in American Bubble Boy, of course. By the way, I'm absolutely in love with this tape. I mentioned it the other day, but my wife's not happy with me because she likes the 2-inch tape, and I just love this 3-inch tape from my go-to tape. I just love it. Code Commonwealth if you want to give it a shot. I'm never going back, ever. I'd love it that much. So I told her I was going to order more of it. I didn't want to order the 2-inch tape. She said, you're ordering the 2-inch tape. I said, okay. You know, you kind of got to do what your wife tells you to do. All right, y'all, we're mixing it up. No Commonwealth comedy today. You're going to give us a little proverb. I don't know where this proverb came from, actually, but I like it. What do you got?
A harvest of peace is produced from a seed of contentment.
All right. I like that one. Very good. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. We got Boots in a video here. She wandered in. Boots loves Turner. Watch.
She loves me.
Oh, she's staying. There she goes. All right. Who got something out of CommonwealthPicker.com?
Deborah got a number 3. Randall got a giant and a hillbilly. And Death Pile Picker got 2.
2 hillbillies. This is all we have left, Reagan. There's less than 10, I think.
What?
So, pretty cool. Thank y'all for doing that. And Mike bought 2 Death Pile Picker. Or Mike bought 2. Death Pile Picker bought 2 hillbillies. So, and a man sticker. So, Enema Men stickers. We appreciate that, Mike. You didn't need to do that, but we appreciate it. We appreciate all of you very, very much.
Bye. And don't forget to get your sticker at CommonwealthPicker.com.
Hey, I want to give a thank you to Bama Jaybird Resell, who sent us their picker stickers. So, Picking the Good Life. I love those stickers right there. We appreciate you. And I forgot to give credit to Turner as well, who comes in here and is just a sweet little guy. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. He is just an awesome little kid. And I love him to death. I love Reagan and Bubba and everybody. And you guys, thank you so much for all your support over the years and for all the folks who use those affiliate links and who buy from us and support us so much. And I know my style of reselling is slightly different than a lot of other folks because of the social media, but the love of my reselling here, what are you doing, is, oh, I meant to tell you, the Honest Tim t-shirts are over on CommonwealthPicker.com. And it's still just buying that stuff at a yard sale cheap, putting it on eBay and hearing the cha-ching. And I think I've carved out a way for me to do all this stuff and to really, really do what I like the most in reselling. So I appreciate all your support and watching the channels and all that. And those affiliate links, by the way, if you can't remember them and you're already going to do some of this stuff, Rolo printers and all that, I'm not asking you to go out of your way to do it as far as, you know, if you don't need something, get it. But if you do need something and you're using those products, you know, I'd appreciate it greatly if you go and use those links. They can all be found in the affiliate section of CommonwealthPicker.com. And Wallen is not happy with me that he doesn't have a treat. So I guess it's time that I do just that. So thank y'all for joining us, and I can't wait to see you next time.